This is my favorite song right now.
Ice, ice, baby.
Who doesn't love Nelly?
Well, this is Jimmy Allen, and then Nelly does the rapping. Let's listen. Hey!
I won't sing, but I love the song.
All right.
I love it. Okay, if you listen to that song and that doesn't unlock the vault where you keep your joy, you have to check your pulse. That's the happiest song ever.
Then you're dead inside. Everyone, welcome to Command Your Morning on a Wednesday. It's a hump day, and we are back with another suspenseful episode. I'm Nick Baldwin. I have my amazing co-host, but let's not kid ourselves. She's in charge, Jessie Newquist. How's it going, Jessie?
I'm in charge. I've got the keys. It's going wonderful. Thank you. Happy Wednesday.
You know the Carrie Underwood song, Jesus Take the Wheel? You're my Jesus. Take the wheel.
I'm so excited. Really? I really can?
Sure.
I'm freaking out about what I sent you this morning. This is really, really cool. Can I do this now?
What did you, let's talk about whatever's on your mind. This is your time.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So I got the chills when I heard this story. So locally, state and then nationally, ladies, you're taking over the world. So I'm going to tell you about a gal first that plays softball for the University of North Texas. That's here in Denton, Texas. And I don't want to get this wrong. So I'm going to read this to you. She's a senior. Her name's Hope Troutwain. She made history. She had a perfect game. Okay. She threw a perfect game. She's from Pflugerville, Texas, and she became the first pitcher in Division I history to throw a 7-inning perfect game in which she registered all 21 outs by strikeout. That's insane.
Hold on. You have to repeat that because I don't know sports.
Okay.
So you're talking about baseball?
Yeah.
Okay. What did she do again? Because I don't know the lingo.
Okay, so this is so a perfect game means no. Don't get this wrong. No runs, no hits, no walks.
So Aaron Kaufman in the chat says 27 strikeouts. Is that accurate?
Okay, so all 21 outs. It's softball. So it says 7 innings. Yep, and every out. So there's 3 outs in 1 inning. Right?
I knew that.
Okay, let's do the math. So she struck everybody out. It doesn't happen. Like she did all the work, 100% of the work.
I mean, I love it. That's so cool.
That doesn't happen. That gives me the chills. No, congratulations, Hope. That's so awesome.
That is so. I mean, that really doesn't ever. I mean, listen, I have never been. Like, for all I know, baseball is a hole in one. I mean, that's really, that's what I know.
This was 21 holes in ones.
Okay, so 21 strikeouts, 7 innings, 3 outs per innings.
Yeah.
Per inning. And this is a high school or college?
University of North Texas, Mean Green.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. So insane. Then I heard this yesterday. The Texas Realtors. We have an executive commercial real estate board, and for the first time in history, 100% of that board is comprised of women. So congratulations. That's amazing. So cool. Great work. And their chair is, her name is Daphne Zollinger. She is an independent broker right here in Denton, Texas. So congratulations, Daphne. Seriously. That's amazing. Thank you for what you're doing. And
Shout out to Daphne.
You know this one. You know the last one, the national one. Oh, actually, definitely international and also in the galaxy. Let's just say in the galaxy.
Or the Milky Way galaxy?
Yes, the number one place to work for women.
Oh, yeah.
In the galaxy.
The number one place to work in the Milky Way galaxy is
Keller Williams Realty. So congratulations.
And was it in Forbes this time?
Yes.
I saw that. That's pretty. And don't forget, we're also number one in volume and units and we're the largest brokerage on the planet. I can't speak for the galaxy because I haven't been further than Earth, but we're the triple threat with the triple crown again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't you love to win? I love winning.
But here's the thing. Yes, of course I love winning. I also love when other people win too, Jesse. Listen, Jesse, sometimes, other people, like when I'm riding my bike outside with my 5-year-old, I pretend that I'm not as fast as him. You know what I mean? Like I have to let him win, but once in a while I'll win just to like show him how it's done. But what I was going to say was, it's amazing that I completely forgot my train of thought. Aaron said something about Command Your Morning. His performance on Command Your Morning next Friday will be like the girl who just had
this Friday. Yeah.
Oh, this Friday. I'm sorry, this Friday coming up, Aaron. Sorry. I don't know. Jesse's setting all the guests and she's taking control. I told you she's my Jesus.
It's making me really nervous, isn't it?
No, you're doing a great job.
No, I didn't. I completely screwed up. You can tell everybody how I completely screwed it all up.
Jesse's trying to be very efficient, and in her efficiency, she made things very inefficient. She sends the same link to every guest, and it's not the same link every time.
Mm-hmm.
But she's learning. She's a grasshopper.
You were going to tell me about I know you were going to tell me about something you're reading.
There was something I was going to say that had something to do with what you were saying, and I forgot. And it'll probably come to me in the middle of the conversation with Maria, who's coming on. Like she'll probably be talking about something really serious, and I'll be like, "Oh, I just remembered. I love to wear party hats when no one's looking, or something like that." That's
fascinating.
Yeah. What I was going to say was, I've been talking a lot about like how much I'm reading. Right. Just like I'm obsessed with it. Like it's procrastinating at this point. Like, before I started reading, I would, it's like my kids watching. It's like binging a TV show. Like I can't put a book down.
Wait, were you a good reader when you were in high school?
Like I hated reading. I hated reading. I'm not a very fast reader. However, I'm getting much faster. Like my wife has read like something, like I'm not even kidding you. If she's watching, and if you're watching or listening, post in the comments how many books you've read so far this year. It's something like 60 something books she reads so fast.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's fast.
And I am obsessed with it. Like, it's like cutting into my productivity every day. It's crazy. Like I came down here to start the show at 8:15 because I couldn't put my book down. So,
but you were saying that it's helped your whole.
Yes, it's helping my mental state in a huge way. And I think it's because of my, it's helping my imagination. It's helping me visualize things a little bit in a better way. And so I just want to show you the books this is the one that I'm finishing. I'm almost done. I only have like 50 pages of What Lies Between Us. This is the craziest book.
It's next.
I think the rights to the movie was just purchased by someone like Jennifer Aniston. Okay, then I'm going to read this next because the movie's coming out on Netflix in May. The Woman in the Window.
Oh, okay. I'll order it. Yes.
Yeah, The Woman in the Window. I got the hardcover because whenever a hardcover is the same price as a paperback, I'll buy the hardcover. I just like the way hardcover feel.
Yeah, I thought you were just fancy.
And this is what I'm reading after. So my son saw the book and he's like, "Dad, why is this book called Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits?"
That's a great title. What is it?
Apparently it's a trilogy. It's a best-selling trilogy about a girl who has superpowers and she has to fight zombies. I think. I don't know. But anyway, I was reading the reviews and it's rave. Yeah. It has like 6,000 5-star reviews. Really? So I got it. And I was looking for a good book about a superhero, and there's not a lot of them, right? Because they're usually stupid. But this one is apparently very good. So I'm excited about all the new books.
Do you think, I've got to ask you, do you think that the types of books that you're reading has anything to do with your improved mindset?
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. Like, it's making me less anxious.
Yeah. But I mean, you're not just reading more. You're not reading, business books. You're reading fiction books now.
Books. But however, there's probably a business book that I'm going to read, and I'm going to be very selective if I start to. It's the new Cal Newport book called A World Without Email. And I heard it was really interesting. I think it's a book about how email has basically email was the gateway to just the way technology is today. And someone was talking about that book on a podcast. And so I looked it up, and I like Cal Newport because his books are like how to turn off, right? Like his books are about like how to minimalize, like digital minimalism is a good one. Those are the books that I like that show
that one sounds fascinating, and I'll read it because I hate email. There's nothing good going on in there. Nothing. There's nothing good.
I'll probably read that. I also want to say that you are watching us on Facebook right now, but you also may be listening to us because every episode is being turned into a podcast. Right now, they're
congratulations, by the way. We to you became a podcaster yesterday. And
I had a podcast before, but thank you. This is fun. It's on Podbean if you just look for Command Your Morning, but I'm going to start moving them over to Spotify and Apple, and it's fun to listen to it whenever you want.
I love podcasts. I listen to one every day. I'll listen to
Which one are you listening to?
I'm listening to ours right now, technically.
You're listening to your own voice? It's amazing. It's amazing. But anyway, I'm going to bring our guest on in just a second. When we do, I'm going to allow you to introduce her.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
But so excited. Let's get right into it. Oh, Maria.
I'm on here.
There she is, Maria Di Poce. How are you, ma'am? It's been too long.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So, Maria, team leader, brand new team leader.
I know.
And you're in Richmond, Virginia.
Yep.
Tell me all about your new friends, your new market center. I want to hear all about it, all the details.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to tell. Okay, so first of all, I want to start with I am so excited to be on here. I'm a huge fan of the show.
Wow, are you fan number 1 or 4 out of 6?
1.
Oh,
maybe
that's
2.
what I'm saying.
I don't know. 1. I think 1. I'm sure that I got
want you to be fan number 1. I want you to be fan number 1.
Well, you know what's funny is you guys used to be on at 7:30 when I lived in Dallas. So you were my getting ready to show kind of.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And now you're on at 8:30, which works so much better because I'm such not a great person. Yeah. You're welcome. So I'm going to try to look at the camera because I remember Jessie told me that in a video that remember that video you made? You're like, look at the camera. I'm like, okay.
Everybody's going like this. Yeah,
I know. And, this is a new setup for me. So if y'all saw what was behind the screen, it's kind of funny.
I like your setup in your new office. You got a big TV. You're like living the life in there.
It casts. I could turn it on right now and your faces would be on it.
Right now. That would freak me out.
It would definitely distract me.
I don't know if I need to see my face more than once.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if this is going to backfire.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Boom. Too much? Too much.
Well, you can hear us too.
Oh, yeah. This isn't going to work.
But I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I don't know if this is something that you're doing already, but
I need to shut it off now, and I don't know how.
You should just unplug it. That's what I do if I can't figure it out. There you go.
Okay, I did it.
What I think you should do, and I don't know if this is something you're doing.
Wait, now I can't hear you. Hold on. All right, now I can. Okay, real quick. See, I'm being so efficient. I'm being inefficient.
Right. Totally. This is what some TLs would do, and I was planning on doing it because I didn't really know that. I didn't think of it before. So I went to visit Melanie Kinnaman in the Austin Southwest office. And the way she has her office situated, okay, she's got this little table with 2 chairs. She sits on one side, and then where the recruit sits. No, she sits on the side. Behind her, there's a TV, a little TV, like a little flat screen TV, like a 19-inch TV on the wall. Right behind her.
Right.
The recruit sits facing her, and the TV is directly to the left, and she's got KW clips, like a reel.
Yep.
Profit share, volume, units. And so as she's talking to the recruit, she can see their eyes going like this.
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good.
I gotta do that. Right? I love it. Thanks for the idea.
Cool. My coach told me to always like in the background, especially on Zoom, we have such a great opportunity to do that. The MREA, all of our books, that's our validity. So cool.
Subliminal messaging.
But back to you. You recently moved to Virginia.
So I just moved like 2 weeks ago. We got here. I don't know. It was all really fast, but we basically decided that we were going to move to Richmond for an opportunity for my husband. And what's really cool about KW is that we're everywhere. So I picked up the phone and I started calling people in this region, and I made my way. I blew up the regional director first, and then I was like, who's looking for talent? Not that I'm saying I'm talent, but you're
talented. Stop it.
Well, so I just started making calls, and there's 2 market centers in the Richmond area, Richmond West, which is where I'm a team leader now, and Midlothian, which is another market center, and they were both looking for team leaders. What do you know? Wow. And so I basically just went through the process, and really, I'm the type of person that I want to be a good fit for where I'm going as much as they want to be a good fit for me, kind of thing. Like, it's got to be mutual. And so I decided to go with this office after I met the agents and I met the ALC and all that stuff. So
cool. So how many agents in the market center?
There's 174 awesome agents.
Okay, good. So it's a decent sized market center. And that's the one you're at now?
Yes.
Okay, and so let's not forget to mention that when you became a TL in Texas, right, because that's where you moved from?
Yep.
You helped grow a market center from 150 to 250 in 2 years, which is
outstanding.
Outstanding. Great job. There's very few team leaders that can do that. And I just want to also mention that you were at EXP for a very short period of time, like 6 months.
Let me out.
And then you discovered MREA. So when you discovered Millionaire Real Estate Agent, like what was the trigger that like went off in your head? What was the light bulb that went off?
Well, it's so funny because it's the story of what brought me to KW. And so I was a real estate agent before I went into network marketing, right? So it's funny, I didn't know, but I was building just businesses, like real estate businesses left and right. I just didn't know what I was doing because I was 21 years old. And the market crashed in 2008. So I was 25 at the time. So I didn't even really understand what I was doing. But nobody had ever called me and said, hey, do you know Keller Williams? I mean, I was probably doing on my retail side of real estate, I was doing about 10 million. On the wholesale flips investment side, there was probably another 20 million that was going through my license. And no one, through the whole business, and no one was calling me. No one was, so it's funny, like when team leaders, they don't want to call the big producers. It's what inspires me to call them, is that no one ever called me. And so I didn't know KW. I didn't even know Keller Williams existed. I didn't even know it was a company, nothing. Wow. I didn't even know Gary Keller was. And so when I took my sabbatical from real estate and I went into network marketing, I learned recruiting and I learned people and a little bit of leadership. Really, most of my leadership came from being a team leader with Keller Williams. And because of network marketing, mind you, and this is where EXP folds in, and a lot of people don't understand this about EXP, and they're like, how do they do it? And I'm like, they're recruiters. I got into EXP because of network marketing, not because of real estate. How crazy is that? So,
sorry, go ahead, Jesse.
Does that make sense? It's
great. I was just going to say, I know you pretty well, and you're definitely one of the top 3, if not. Yeah. Okay. You're the best implementer. I'll give that to you. The best implementer. I know. Really. If you say, hey, Maria, I was thinking of, and then it just happens. Like, I love you for that. So, you're going to get it done. What's your plan? So after 12 months of being there, what's the market center? What's it going to look like? What's the goal?
So this market center has got to get back in culture. Like that's the goal. The goal is KW culture. Like, you know, the book that they give you when you become a team leader, you know, the team leader book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that book says
you don't. Jesse's like, I never got that.
I never got I didn't get the instructions.
Oh, you didn't get the book?
Weird. I didn't get a book either. I was like, and by the way, I loved my OP, but it was essentially, hey, here's your office. There's a phone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the goal is to get people, and don't get me wrong, like this market center has a lot of people that are in culture. Like I would say like the ALC, the top 20 really understands KW culture.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, because of COVID, a lot of it was because of COVID and the new agents that came on board when COVID was going on, the culture kind of got lost.
Mm-hmm.
When I built that market center, you know, and really it was, I put it on my back and I did it on my own, and it's miserable, and I'll never do it like that again, ever. You got to do it through your agents. You got to do it with your agents. You got to do it because of your agents and with your agents, not around them or on top of them or you know, so that's the goal really is I would love to see, I mean, probably a year from now, I'm so new that we haven't even set like hard goals because I want to get on the ship before the ship gets moving forward. And which means meeting with everyone on the ALC. As a new team leader, that's like, you got to do that.
Right.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to do that.
First
that would be the first chapter of the book if there was a book. And then top 10, and then figure out what are they missing, and then let's go deliver that value proposition and for their business to grow. It's all about their business.
There's such a huge opportunity too in the newness of being a team leader after you've done it before, right? Like,
oh yeah.
What do you see happening after? So everybody's on your bus and the bus is rolling. What's next?
So let's just say that I'll know when that happens when there's 100 people at our weekly sales meeting.
That's awesome. That's
huge. First of all, that's huge. And I just want to ask you one quick question because what you said before was extremely important. You know, you want to get on the ship before you steer the ship. And market centers are a big ship to steer, especially if they're going in the wrong direction. Maybe not in the wrong direction profit-wise, but maybe culture-wise.
Right.
And I also think that both of those are parallel to each other, right? Like the better your culture is, I think the better your profit's going to be. But what I was going to say was, it's very important to, and this isn't something that I think is talked about enough. When a new team leader enters a market center for the first 90 days, there should be zero recruiting.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Zero. You need to recruit your agents in your market center before you can recruit. So if you're a team leader out there and you're new or you're thinking of being a team leader, I don't care what anybody tells you. You are new in a pool of people who don't know you from anything. Why should they trust you? Why should they listen to you? Right.
Yeah. And also, they've been waiting for you. They've been waiting for this. If there's a new team leader, unless it's a brand new market center, right? They've needed you.
That's the only time when it would be an exception. But if you're going into a market center and you're new, why should they listen to you? Recruit them back.
Well, and I think we get so, especially as team leaders, if you are a driver, like a DI, right? Those personality profiles on the disc, you get so stuck in the gotta do this, check the box, you know, whatever. You forget the people. Like, it's about the people. That's why we're here, right? Like, you made a really good post, Jesse, on the Team Leader Making It Happen page the other day.
Tough lesson. Yeah.
It is. And, you know, when I was a brand new team leader, I've done so much like personal development on figuring out, like, why didn't I make it 100% about the people when I first started as a team leader? And you know, this also applies to team leads when they're building the teams out.
Oh, yes.
You have to fall in love with your agents, and you have to be okay with the fact that someday they might leave you. And it's sad, but sometimes people leave for different reasons, right? They're relocating. They want to open their own brokerage. Maybe they have like a big tie to what that means, right? And my first 3 years as a team leader, I'm so thankful that I failed forward because I had a lot of success, but like I said, it was in spite of a lot of things. And then for the last year and a half, I've been studying under a team leader in our region that's had the team leader role for 11 years, you guys.
Wow. I mean, that's
get
crazy.
him on here,
That's crazy.
You'll never get him on here. He's so like, he doesn't
Wait.
talk. Yeah.
Wait.
Never say never.
Are you talking about Dick?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Singing, get him.
Oh my gosh,
that'd be amazing.
He's coming. He is amazing. He loves his people.
Yeah.
More than anybody else. He loves his people first, and then he loves them so much and grows their businesses so much, it kind of runs itself. And everybody gets on his bus and they want to help him. They want him to win.
Yeah, because he's helping the agents. It's the win-win. It's like help enough people get what they want and you'll get what you want. But then you realize, like, once you start helping enough people, you don't even care about what you want because that is what you want.
And also, good job. That's selfless leadership. That's great. And
totally.
It's so tempting to like just go and use the newness and go take all the territory. So good for you for watering your own garden.
Can I ask you though, when you grew that market center from 150 to 250, what do you think was like the one main reason you and your leadership team were able to grow that fast? Now, I just want to say, preface it before I have you answer that, to agents out there watching this, growing a market center by 100 agents, and that was 100 agents net, right?
Right.
That's amazing.
That's extremely difficult to do. Extremely difficult to get agents to stay.
Yeah.
Right. How did you do that? What was like the number one thing that you think was the reason why that happened? Well, or maybe there's more than one thing.
There's a lot of things. I think the biggest thing is that losing wasn't an option. And I'm just a little competitive. Jesse might know this. And just a little bit. And when you come into a region like North Texas, in New Mexico, and Memphis, it is a lot of really, really amazingly talented humans that you look at and you go, I'm coming for you, right? Like, watch out. We're going to get this done. And I mean, honestly, it's going to sound really probably simple, but we gross 10 agents a month no matter what.
Right. Well, that's the thing. So grossing, you think of it like making commission. Gross commission, not that important. Gross agents,
right?
It's important, but not that important because some of them will stay. I would say 80% of them don't stay, right? Like,
that's average.
Think about it though, because think about there's an 87% failure rate in the industry within the first 5 years. So the same goes for a market center.
Yeah, true. We figured out what they needed, and when we delivered it, I mean, we had a lot of training. We had a lot of support of, productivity coaching. It was really all hands on deck. And like literally it was funny. Like we would get together and, I would like be like, all right, I'm going on vacation or something. I'm leaving for like a day, or I got married, I think, while I was a team leader the first time. And I was like, I better not see anyone leave Winmore, which is like our system, while I'm on vacation. Right. Like we retain everyone. Like
I could picture you saying that on the way out the door. Listen, anybody leaves while I'm gone, but I
have made this market center so efficient. When I go on vacation, it better not be inefficient.
How many people were on your team at the time?
So we had director of first impression, MCA, productivity coach, director of agent services, and a broker. And
how big was your ALC?
I think I inherited a 4-people ALC.
I remember this was so cool. You ran a call night with your growth committee, right? And
yes,
there was like 40 people there or something like that. Like everyone gets on board quickly with you and gets excited. And so how do you do that? How do you do that?
Well, I'm just really excited all the time. like, because I love this freaking company so dang much. Like, this is the answer. If you're in real estate and you are now with Keller Williams, you're out of your mind. You are wasting your time. Pack your stuff and get here as soon as possible, because we have everything, right? We really do. And so it's so easy.
This is what she says. This is really how it is. Like, this is what you get all the time.
It's so easy for me to sell this company. That's why we can gross 10 every month, because I'm like, what do you want? We have it.
Can I ask you something?
What?
Okay, so I don't know you very well, but I've seen you do videos and I've heard you speak before. And now you're getting very enthusiastic and excited, and I'm noticing an accent.
Oh, yes.
I didn't notice that before when you're not getting excited and enthusiastic. What's your background? What's your nationality?
So, by the way, shout out to my mom that's on here right now from Italy.
Aww, hi, Mom.
Oh, Mom. Yeah. Is she watching in Italy right now?
She's watching in Italy right now.
I love it.
Hi,
Mom.
Mom.
Morning has gone international.
Congratulations.
We have one viewer in Italy.
Yeah.
Part of Italy.
So I'm from Sora, which is it's about an hour outside of Rome. And it's a beautiful little city.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that's where I grew up. I moved here when I was 14. And my mom taught me some things like water. Where's the bathroom?
Those are very important things to know.
So my first year here as a freshman was really fun.
Oh, so you did not know English.
You started high school not knowing English. How long did it take you to learn?
I can understand it okay, because my mom speaks English fluently, so she always, would speak to us in English. But it took me like a good year and a half to
say, gosh, that's hard.
Well, it's interesting. So
to communicate.
Your accent's still very noticeable, which I find to be, first of all, I think that's great, right? Like I have some British friends who moved over to America, years ago, and you can't really tell that they're British anymore. I love that that's coming. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Wait, so if I'm tired or drunk, my accent is really crazy.
Well, Italians like their wine. My wife's grandmother, she just passed away last year, but she was 93, and she moved to America when she was 19. And you would think that she just got here. Like, honestly, you'd be like, did you just get here? Oh, she'd be like, Nikki, no. Why you not eat? Do you not hungry? Why you not?
You're always too skinny to Italians.
Oh, yeah. She would say to my wife. She would say to my wife, because she had a multifamily home. We lived in her house for a couple years when we first got married. And we would have dinner with her every Sunday. And she was obviously this amazing cook, like didn't measure anything, like how Italians cook. Puts her hands in all of it, right? What's the matter, you? Eat the. I'm gonna call your father. I'm gonna call Joey. And Nana, I'm just not hungry. What's the matter? You sick? No, I'm not sick. I'm just not hungry.
That means you're sick.
You go to the doctor. Let's go to the doctor. But she was great. Yeah,
that means you're sick. When you can't eat and you're Italian, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
You must be unwell.
I ate real good for those 3 years.
So
Maria, will you rate Nick's Italian accent? I have it at a 3. A 3.
Okay. Well, yeah, maybe because I like Nick, I'll give him a 4.
Well, your mom, mom is watching, Mama da Poce, is that your mom's name?
Yeah, her name's Marisa.
Just post in the comments, Mom, in Italian. Let me know if I'm doing good. So, how's your mom doing? Because I know Italy was hit real hard with COVID. So how's she doing?
It's so crazy over there. It's funny because I'm coming from Texas where COVID doesn't exist.
Right. In Florida too. I don't know why we don't live in Florida, because Florida doesn't have COVID either.
We should have all just gone there, really.
So in Italy, COVID really, really, really exists, like for real. And so but here's what's funny. It's the government is more on the socialist scale. Like they're a republic, but they have socialized healthcare and all the good things that we should have here. But unfortunately, what they tend to do, because Italians like to party, is they'll just shut down the cities during Easter. It was all red zone, which means you can't even leave your house. You cannot leave your house unless you have a note to go somewhere. And we've loosened things. In Italy, they're still like full on. So she's doing good. I think as good as anyone can do that's been like sequestered in their homes for like a year and a half, basically.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well,
like she watches me go to the mall and she's like, oh my gosh, what is that like? Because I don't even understand it.
Oh, the poor thing.
Yeah. What? So you move. You're in Virginia now, where COVID, I think, is a thing in Virginia. Maybe it is sometimes, and maybe it isn't.
My mask.
Oh, okay, cool. So, you said that obviously, like getting your agents, recruiting your agents back, and having meetings with them. What's the strategy for that? Like, I didn't have much. Like I said, don't get me wrong.
Question.
I loved my OP. She's like a second mom. Her name's Christine. She had 2 market centers. One of them was struggling, and so she didn't have the time, and that's fine. Like I figured it out, and she's still like, I love her to death. So nothing negative about her. I just want to know, like, but so I had to figure things out as I went, right? And I masterminded with high level TLs, like one of my, and I don't know if he knows this, but Preston Murphy was someone that I just watched, and his recruiting tactics with video and GIFs. I mean,
he's so good.
Yeah.
He's way better at it than I am. He's so good at that.
So what's your strategy to like meet with your top 20%?
So how do you make that happen?
Yeah.
I call them and hassle them until they meet with me. And like, why wouldn't you want to meet with me, right? And get in front of them. And then I have a set of questions that I ask every single one of them. It's the same questions, which is, tell me about your business. And then we get a little bit, I almost do like a mini tech audit, but not really. I just do more of a business audit where I'm trying to get to know their business. Tell me how many transactions, what, the goals last year, what are your goals next year? And then I get a little bit into their business. I want to know if I have a team at this office, you guys, that grosses over $2 million in commissions a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're an MREA twice over.
Wow, that's so cool.
Who are they?
Their name is the Ruckart Real Estate Team. And it's Brad and Tommy. They're amazing. They're 2 business partners.
Wow, that's such an honor to really. That's exciting to go and to start off that way, going into business with.
So their business model is insane. So what I'm putting together now for them.
Hold on, I think that might be your mom.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mama. All right. So you have a team in your market center.
So so that's I'm like, tell me about your business. How much do you pay them? What's your profit margins? What's your P&L look like? That's what I mean by they are in culture. There are agents here in culture, because there are agents here that have a P&L and actually know what their profit margins are supposed to be. And so I do that with them. And then I say, tell me your why. Why are you doing this? Why are we doing this? Right? I want to get behind them. I want to understand why they're doing what they're doing. And then I ask them a very important question. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Ready.
What can I do to help you?
Wait, say that again.
What can I do to help you?
That is a novel concept. So,
and I say, and you can be as selfish as you want or not. Whatever you need, I'm here. If you need me to Starbucks you a coffee today when you're on your way to a showing and you tell me where you're going, I will do that. What do you need? Just tell me what you want me to help you with.
So that's really, so we get coaching all the time. To about 200 people in your market center. And it usually sounds like this. Maria, be careful. You want to get them a coffee? You want to do it right now? Times 200. And that scares me, right? Because you can't do that times 200, but it sounds like it's never hurt you.
Yeah, but get this. If you start asking that question and then everybody on the team asks that question and then every agent asks that question to each other and everyone's out to win for one another at such a high level, then no one feels like they're overworking or bugged down because everyone's delivering on what can I do to help you, and we're all helping each other all the time.
Starts with the leader. Great.
And just so everyone is aware, Starbucks is now a verb.
Yeah. It is.
It's like,
Starbucks
hey Jesse, can you Starbucks me a coffee?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Can you Uber me a coffee? It's just like Uber. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Please Uber me a coffee. So,
oh my gosh.
So Maria, you got one of the greatest compliments from Smokey Garrett. We were on that I've ever heard on a regional call. I know. Love. He said,
we love Smokey. Smokey, if you're watching, we need you on the show.
So he had said that you dove into command head first. You dove right in, all the way in, and you said you felt like, we as leaders, we have to like do that first, as in lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Maria, you have a great mind, and he said that was the greatest piece of leadership advice he's ever heard on a regional call. Is what he said.
Wow.
And yeah. And when it was brand new too, you did it. You dove all the way in and you did a great job. So congrats.
Yeah, you got to buy in, man. Mm-hmm. Like, and you know what? When you've been starving for a company like Keller Williams and then you get a hold of it, it's like, holy cow, you just cannot love it enough. You can't spread the news fast enough. Mm-hmm. And that's, it's funny, just to loop back around, Nick, to your original question. That's how I got into KW. Somebody at that other company gave me this book and said, have you ever seen this book? You should read it.
Can I say something? So
please.
Who was I saying? Oh, I was talking to Jason Abrams I texted Jason Abrams the other day because I saw on Instagram there was an EXP agent advertising classes that he's teaching, and the classes were MREA.
So funny.
And I don't understand that. By the way, it's not a KW book, right? But I don't understand that. I don't understand how agents can follow the MREA, but yet not be at the company that essentially is built upon it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, will it work at any brokerage?
100%.
Sure.
But the problem with that, though, is, Jesse, there's a good chance that your leadership at that brokerage doesn't know what it is, so they can't help you with it.
Exactly.
I'm convinced that I think the reason there's a lot of people there that they keep hearing about KW and they're going to, like, just like me, they're going to come and they've never been here before. Like they're going to come to us through them because they keep talking about us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Seychelle Van Pool, shout out to Seychelle. She is my sponsor at KW. I mean, how cool is that?
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Thanks to my husband that went to high school with her. That's how I got connected. Totally such a small world. And I asked her one day, I said, why are you still here? Or I think what happened is I had a $10 million producer I put in front of her. And he asked her, why are you still here? Why are you still with Keller Williams? Why don't you go do your own thing? You're a broker. You can open your own business. You have a team. You do thousands of transactions. And Seychelle said this. She said, why would I want to unplug from she didn't say machine, but she said, why would I want to unplug from the company that does nothing but help me grow?
True.
That's awesome. True. Yes, that's great. That's right. She can do whatever she likes.
I have a question for Maria. So you were talking about culture, right? And that you're very, that's something that's really important to you. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you?
Everything.
How do you define it? Yeah.
I think it's like that's such a great question. And I think when you don't have it, when you have it, you know what it is. And if you've never had it, it's impossible to explain it.
Right.
I'm so grateful that I got to spend 1.5 years with KW Allen because I really, truly now understand what KW culture is. KW culture is picking up somebody that has COVID because they have no one that can bring them to the hospital, putting a tarp in the back of your seat so that you're protected from them, and taking them to the hospital. That's what KW culture is, right? Like it's lifting someone up when they're down. It's high-fiving them in the hallway. It's lifting each other. It's crying with one another when we need to do that. It's celebrating each other. It's collaboration. It's the models. It's the system. It's being coachable. I mean, there's so much, like, where do you even begin? But that's the fabric of Keller Williams.
Yeah,
it really is.
I think, that you hit up on a really great point there. And in a nutshell, I think, I know we're a company that looks out for one another. Yeah. And so, we're a company that, and it starts at the top. I mean, KW cares. we're always, and we're looking out for others. Like I remember when hurricane, what was the big hurricane down in Austin, in Houston, where they had to do mega
Harvey.
Yeah,
Harvey,
they had
right?
Was it Harvey? They had to change mega camping to mega relief. And
that's how I met Marty Miller. When Marty Miller was a productivity coach, he and I were slicing brisket together, feeding people in Houston. So cool.
I remember a story, and correct me if I'm wrong if I don't have the right person, but they were just KW agents were just down there helping people clean out their house. And I feel like the story I heard was they were helping a guy clean his house out, and he turned out to be the CEO of Coldwell Banker.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, wow.
That's the story.
To me is so that is so powerful, because where were his agents?
Right.
No,
for sure.
Can I ask you, you always have studied leadership? What are you studying in particular right now?
It's funny because you were talking about the podcast. You listen to a podcast every day. I really do. I love Linda McKissick and Dana Gentry's podcast. That's huge.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
You've heard of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're familiar. Jesse might know one or two of them.
Yeah. I have the 2-for-1 deal on an OP. I have the greatest 2-for-1 deal in an OP ever. Yes.
You're so lucky. And
I really am. I want to acknowledge that.
I thought hiring Jesse to be my co-host would instantly get us Linda, but it hasn't happened yet. So maybe she doesn't have the pull that I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We have to build up to that. There's got to be a good suspenseful build up.
I know. Yeah. They'll be on. They're excited too.
So she's awesome. And I listen to a lot of their podcasts, and then I kind of get stuck down the rabbit hole of they put a book. I have an iPad because of Linda McKissick, and it's funny because now she doesn't have one. So I don't know, long story, but this book right here.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
I just heard your Italian accent say y'all.
I've never heard you say y'all. So is this the first time you're reading that?
That's the first time.
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yeah.
I don't know why I've been putting it off, because I felt like it was going to be one of those annoying graphic books with all the statistics, and I freaking hate those.
See, Jesse, remember when I said, sorry, Maria, because I'm going to forget what I said. Remember when I said I don't read leadership books?
Whoop.
That is a classic.
Yeah.
Right. And there are certain leadership books that built the foundation for every other leadership book.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some that don't fall into that category. And that's one of them, where that's the Bible for that.
You know what I mean? For sure.
What have you gotten out of it so far? What's your biggest aha?
I don't even know where to begin.
You have to read the whole book. Yeah,
exactly. It's so good.
It's so good.
I think it's the being proactive. It's so crazy. Anybody can read this book. I didn't even realize that I've never been to rehab. I don't have to go, I don't think, but I have friends.
You might want to check.
We'll see. But I have a friend that her brother went through it, and they make them read this book. That's how powerful this book is. It's not just about leadership. It's about life and just being proactive. The ALC was reading it at the Keller Williams Allen office. And the vulnerability of that ALC when they were sharing, parts of being proactive about, I think my takeaway has been communication, which is always with everything I read. And not assuming that the person you're talking to can read your mind. To actually have to put into words what you're thinking, so they hear it and then they process it. It's been about that. It's been about communication.
Yeah. So
always
in the Course Fierce conversations, it's kind of how do they phrase it? It's so good. Stepping out from behind yourself so you can show up authentically, right?
Transcending. Be smart enough to know when your ego's talking instead of you talking. Smart enough to know when that's happening.
That reminds me of something. So when I first became a team leader, sometimes when you first become a TL, it takes a lot of self-realization in that the conversation and I learned this the hard way. And not that I do talk about myself sometimes, but well, more than sometimes. But my point is, Maria's shaking her head. Yeah.
Well, no, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not about like the other day I asked Paul Stolf. Well, I'm going to say his name.
That's a fact.
His parents were Amish, and they left the Amish community, when he was born. And I asked him, I said, and it was still kind of brought up somewhat Amish because, that's not, that's not a community that you just, leave behind mentally.
Totally different. Yeah.
So I said, do you ever bring that up in a recruiting appointment? Because that kind of shaped your life, and you didn't have a lot of things that other people had growing up in terms of technology and so on and so forth. He's like, no, why would I do that? Right. And I was like, wow, yeah. I mean, that's true. Like, why would you talk about yourself? But I think there are certain instances where if there's something that you can relate to them, it's important to bring it up. But it's not about you at all. Like and the thing that I realized real fast was it's not about what Keller Williams can offer. It's about what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like the biggest mistake new team leaders make. They start pitching all KW things.
Yeah, it's a problem because we have everything. We have all the value. There's too much. There's too much to talk about. So let's narrow it down to what you actually want. Okay.
Because when you're having that conversation, when you're having that conversation,
it's a needs analysis.
They might not need technology, right? They might need business coaching. They might not need business coaching, and they just might need mentorship. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what we have. It could be a menu of things, and none of it can mean anything.
Maria, can I ask you? And I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No. Go.
I was going to ask you about you're a master of work-life balance. Like that's your thing. And so
learned it the hard way.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, we don't have a lot of time, but basically what happened when I was a team leader my first 3 years, and I don't know if you guys heard the fact that I got married while I was a brand new team leader and brand new to Keller Williams. My marriage kind of fell apart because I was working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And he had a busy work schedule as well. So we didn't prioritize making time for one another. And it turns out when you do that, you tend to maybe like drift apart. And so I knew, like, Jesse, I was like, I'm going to figure this thing out. I'm going to be able to work and give it my all. And then when I leave the office, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave everything at the office, and I'm going to go home and take my dogs for a walk and listen to some music, hang out, chill out, have a glass of wine, and not bring my work home with me because my husband doesn't want to hear it because it's a lot. And he's not with Keller Williams. Right. And then Saturdays and Sundays, if an agent needs my help, I'm there 100%. But if they don't, I'm zenning out. I'm on my Peloton. I'm walking. I'm reading. I'm drinking water. All the things we don't do during the week because we're just slamming caffeine and Celsiuses. Which, by the way, Virginia doesn't have Celsius. It's not here yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know what is
I'll send you a case. What?
Oh.
What?
Oh, I don't think we have Celsius.
Oh, no.
Is it a drink? What is it?
So what kind do you drink?
Is it an energy drink?
I am I like the orange one. Yeah.
Yes, it's an energy.
Might have it, actually,
it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad for you.
It's all vitamins. Good for you.
Can I show you something now that you're speaking of that? Hold on.
Oh my gosh, he has a mini fridge.
Yeah, I have a mini fridge. My wife got it for me for Christmas.
I want one.
It fits a 12-pack of whatever you want, and none of it's alcoholic in there. Don't worry. This isn't the Don Draper office.
That's such a cool show. That is one of my all-time favorite Netflix show, hands down. Could watch it 1,000,000 times.
Bring back drinking bourbon in the middle of the day. So as realtors, I think
How does
here's what I was gonna say. What I have in my mini fridge. That's why I turned around.
What do you have?
Okay, so my wife hates when I drink energy drinks. Like she's, she doesn't like.
They're terrible for you.
Yeah, but she finds ones that are organic and have vitamins.
Like Celsius.
So she found this one at the grocery store, and it's Mountain Dew, but it's a Mountain Dew brand. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second. It's not
see.
Mountain Dew. Let me just tell you. So it has 180 milligrams of caffeine, right? But the rest is just vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin B6, and zinc, and antioxidants. Antioxidants. There's only 4 grams of sugar, and it's only 25 calories for an entire can.
Wow.
So it's not.
That's a lot of caffeine, man.
180 milligrams, but that's how much if you drink 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
It's 2 cups of coffee.
Okay? All right.
It's caffeine approximately equivalent to 2 cups of coffee.
And you probably have half of it and then have another half later.
Oh no, I'm gonna drink 4 of them. I think that sounds amazing, but that's bad. That's bad. It was more than it really was.
You would never think that a Mountain Dew energy drink would not have all sorts of crap. It literally is just caffeine and vitamins and some flavor.
Well,
my wife wouldn't let me drink it otherwise.
Celsius is amazing. I'll try that too.
It's in my Nick. You need to try Celsius. It's in my Amazon cart right now because you can Amazon anything.
So what podcasts are you listening to?
Y'all want to know? It's really funny right now. Like at this very moment, I am listening to Read to Lead with Jeff Brown.
Okay, I don't
know if it's very popular, but the actual podcast is called The Quest to Build a Culture That Rocks.
Awesome.
I'm obsessed with culture, you guys. I really think that is the missing piece. When I go to a market center that is not growing or is got a lot of attrition, all that stuff, whatever you want to say, the bad things that happen in a market center, it's because the culture got messed up somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to leave you, but this is a great book. Have you read this?
No.
That looks really
Kevin
heavy.
Oakes.
Culture renovation.
It looked bigger than it really was.
It's a pretty big book, but okay. Kevin Oakes, he's the CEO and co-founder of I4CP. It's a manual. It's an instruction manual on changing culture. It was so good. I have to go back and read it again, but it would be an awesome ALC book.
That's awesome.
I recommend it for any ALC, any market center. It's amazing.
Love it.
Hey, so before we jump off, because we're running out of time, we need to ask Maria what her morning routine looks like.
Y'all, I'm super lame. There's nothing exciting about my morning routine. I am not that person that's got Gary Keller does a million things before 7 o'clock. It's my goal and dream to someday be like that, but I'm super lame. I wake up, I have a cup of coffee, and then I start getting ready and listening to podcasts, and then I come to work. You know what the best thing is about me living in Richmond right now?
What?
I am 5 minutes from the market center.
Oh, that's so awesome.
5 minutes.
So great.
No traffic. I have to tell you the funniest thing before we get off. They do a traffic segment on the news because they have to, right? Mind you, Richmond's as big as Plano, Jesse, just to give you an idea what we're working with here. So it's a smaller town, right? But it's not too small where they don't have a Target, They do a morning traffic news segment and it's all green. It's all green all the time. It's the maps are all green and the lady that tells the traffic is we seem to have an incident. There's a car parked in the left shoulder, so you might want to just drive around it. And I'm
it's
in Dallas, it's all red.
There's nothing to report. There's nothing to report.
Wow.
There's nothing to report.
So funny.
Yeah, so I hang out with my dogs. I have 2 Vizslas. If you don't know what a Vizsla is, I'm sorry.
They're beautiful.
They're Hungarian hunting dogs. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
I think I know are they brown?
Yeah, they're a reddish brown bird.
Do they have that line that goes up their back?
No, that's a ridgeback. But they're very similar. They don't get as big. And so they're my kids. So they run me around.
They're so sweet.
That's so awesome.
Love them.
We love
them
our
for me.
babies.
I
Maria,
will.
you're probably gonna recruit and retain 150 real estate agents, I'm sure, because you're amazing and you're an implementer, and I love you and miss you, and I'll come visit you.
Please.
But congratulations, girl. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I love that you were able to move to another state and get a team leader job. That's so, that's really.
Honestly, Nick, I I would have taken an ATL role. I would have taken a director of agent services role. I would have been an assistant MCA. I would have done whatever I needed to do to get on a leadership role with a Keller Williams Market Center.
I love it. Well, this has been a great talk. I think I learned a lot, and I love talking to TLs. I was one in a past life.
Once a TL, always a TL.
Yeah.
You're in the
You're honorary.
And it was, thank you. And it was great to get to know you a little bit better. Because sometimes, on social media, you just kind of take a lot of things for granted, and I'll just comment on that post, and but this is good. So I appreciate you being on. It was a lot of fun. Jesse, booking the good guests.
Yeah. Well, I love you, Maria. I'm coming out to visit you.
Okay, sounds good.
You have a great day.
We'll see you on Friday with Mr. Profit Share.
Oh my gosh.
That'll be fun.
Kaufman. Have an amazing day, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.